My superpower. I have a special power, like a superhuman strength. I wield this power whenever my soul is stormy, when the clouds roll in and I need a life vest. When I reach in my pocket, I pull it out. It's supposed to be so nice to have a superpower, to do things other people cannot do. I have my sword, my paintbrush. It cuts swaths of red and blades of green. I have my shield. It blocks the waves of memory. It blocks so well. I have no memory of its intervention. I have my magic glasses. They let me see only what I need to, like 20/20 vision. Like karma kaleidoscopes, but unfortunately, nothing else. Not even the people who are breaking me down. But I have a superpower, and sometimes, just sometimes, it actually helps out. Instead of that life vest, instead of my sword or my shield or my glasses, I pull it out at will, for I've just as most superheroes go through, not learned how to control yet my superpower, how to unpack it only when it's needed so it pops out at all the wrong times, in the vastly wrong places. It has a mind of its own. Some days it won't go back in, and it lasts until I am spent, exhausted, tragically ready to expire before it releases me like a rest. But doesn't everybody say they wish they had it? Oh, what would they do with the power of invisibility? I have the worst nurse. She's the worst nurse. Large and looming, a gaping case of ptosis blooming, and with a slight mustache, walking around assuming she's the worst nurse, the worst one yet, tied by plastic tubes and verse. I'm at her mercy. She smells of stale cigars, leftovers, and sweat. She's had a bad week. Now I'm going to lament. I'll catch words until she'll relent. She makes it so hard to transverse. She's grumpy and mean, and balks at my tears. She's abrasive. She has a sharp tongue, just to rip at your seams, and then, just when you think you're on terms, I'm snapped off, a feeling that burns and festers and squirms. She's the worst nurse. She's the worst nurse. I ask her for water. I wait all night. She brings it from the sea. I thank her and take it. I'll drink till I'm full, this offering for me. I've learned again, yet not to speak so often, to listen to the echoes. She's the worst nurse. She's the worst nurse. I ask her for one response, but with long, drawn-out words, she gives me 3. A choice, another task for me. Is it too much to ask to be remembered for my needs? The day argues by. Her only focused vigilance comes to me careless and cold, and now I need to grieve, and I'm not able to just get up and leave. Recovery from a surgeon's diligence, I'm painful in the weeds. She's the worst nurse, but every time I look back, she's really indignant for the hours of her day she's meant to support me in my healing walk along. She's meant to care for me. That I am a fall risk, it's possible I'll abscond and float away. She's washing thought clean, and I'm trying to untangle the searchlight to match the detonation. She's the worst nurse. She says she thinks it's in my mind. I laugh to show her access to the soft parts has now been declined. 3 hours past 1 when the meds are due, swimming in anguish while I wait. She's the worst nurse. She cleaned my wounds today and changed one of the bags of things I can't, but she forgot to unclasp the tube, so the thing would drain. I'm unfocused, unable to fend alone, but I need assistance due to the pain. She's the worst nurse. Bringing me food I'm able to eat is such a daunting task. She wears her disgust on her face. She'll find a reason it's impossible. And impossible makes it nearly impossible to ask. I'm thirsty and I need to pee, but coffee takes an hour, and soup 2 or 3 that settle for a sip, just a quell. She's the worst nurse, truly can't be trained. My throat is rough and dry, but she's forgotten me again. I'm sure that when I ask her, I'll be met with her resentment, a visceral discontentment. She's the worst nurse.